This is Coach's Corner.
Welcome, Commodore fans, to Coach's Corner, a production of Gulf Coast State College. And wanted to also let Commodore fans know Coach's Corner now is sponsored by Sweet Bay, the new subdivision that's being developed in the old airport property. So thank those folks for helping us be able to do these shows for you. Now, Coach Beth Wade's here. We're going to talk about Lady Commodores right now. Lady Commodores 19-10 overall. Start panel conference play this week and ranked number 8 in the state coaches poll. And Coach, you played 6 games last week, and let's just kind of dive right into them. We had Lake Michigan come down, and it looks like on the 7th, we played them at a doubleheader, and we won the first one 9-1.
Yeah, we opened, that was our home opener last Tuesday, and we won the first game 9-1. Brittany Lee started that game for us, went 4 innings, and Peyton Carpenter came in and finished it off in the 5th. You know, in softball it's 8-run rule. After 5, you're up 8 after 5, then it's just a 5-inning game. And, you know, we came out swinging the bats well. I know we had a couple home runs on the day. It looks like Surdy had a triple, our shortstop had a triple, Kennedy Tippler had a home run, added a couple RBIs, third baseman. Both of those kids are freshmen, as well as Brittany Lee, the starter for us that day. But yeah, we came out swinging it well and had some good results.
So now Lake Michigan, they travel down and they play all the panel conference teams they play around? Or?
They were playing, I know they played 2 games at Northwest, they played 2 games with us, and then I think they were going back up through Alabama and playing a couple of games on their way back home. So they were just trying to get some games in, and I think they hadn't played much on the year, so.
Because they could still have snow on their fields.
Yeah, their coach said they had not been able to get outside much, obviously, with their weather, so. It's a little tougher up there.
And then we played them again and won 14-2 in 5.
Yep, second game was pretty similar to game 1. We flip-flopped the pitchers. Peyton started through 4 innings, and then Brittany finished it off in the 5th. I believe we had a couple more home runs. Yeah, Surdy hit another home run. Peyton Carpenter added a home run. I think she had 4 RBIs on the day, I believe, because she got the win. Yep, she got the win and had 4 RBIs. Brittany Lee added a couple RBIs. Let's see, it looks like Ansley Brown had 1. Surdy had 3. Kennedy had 1. Pelkey had 1. And Courtney had 1. So I think just about everybody in the lineup had a hit. Almost everybody in the lineup had a hit that day, so at least one.
And so the offense is swinging the bats well, and look, he held them to 1 run in the first game and 2 runs in the second game.
Yeah, pitchers did a good job that day, you know, hitting their spots, and defense played well behind them. So usually results in a good finish if you have that combination.
So, and then we had another team from Michigan come down, Lansing, and we played them on the 10th and won 4-0.
Yeah, we were in Columbus, Georgia this weekend at the NFCA tournament, the National Fast Pitch Coaches Association tournament that they put on every 3rd year for the junior college teams. And we played Lansing again. We beat them 4-0. That was the opening game of the weekend for us. We didn't come out it wasn't our best game. I'll just put it that way. But I believe the pitcher stats aren't showing on here. I believe Peyton Carpenter got that win, and she pitched almost the whole game. I think Brittany Lee came in 1 inning, and then Peyton pitched the rest of it. And she had a home run that game as well. She hit a 2-run home run to center field, right center field. And it looks like we had 1 error. I think our third baseman had 1 error on that day, on the game, but we don't play our best at 9 in the morning, and that was one of those games. So we wasn't our best performance, but we pulled out the win, so we'll take it.
An ugly win's better than a pretty loss.
You're right about that.
so that's the thing there. And if they won at 9 in the morning, I assume you traveled up the day before and spent the night.
We did. We went up Thursday, so we were there Thursday through Sunday. It was
That's
a long trip for us.
And then that same day, you played Indian Hills and lost 8-4.
We did. That was a much better played game on both sides. Indian Hills is a team that was at national tournament last year. They came out, jumped ahead two runs in the first inning. We added one when we came back in the first. It was 2-1 after the first. And the third inning, we got a couple runners on, scored one, and then Marcosi hit a 2-run bomb to put us up 4-2. That game we used all of our pitchers, I think, Brittany Lee pitched that whole game. But we had, no, that's not right. Brittany Lee did not pitch that whole game. Brittany started that game, and then I think we used all three pitchers that game, actually. We went 9 innings. We had a 4-2 lead. We let them tie it up in the 5th. They got a couple hits and tied it up in the 5th. And then they had actually bases loaded in the 7th and top of 7th, and we were able to keep them from scoring. Had bases loaded with 1 out, and we were able to get out of it. And then we didn't score in the bottom of the 7th. 8th inning, we held them, came in, had bases loaded. We got bases loaded with 1 out in the 8th, and hit a line drive right to the third baseman and got doubled off. And then came back out in the 9th, and we had 1 error, walked a kid, and then they got a hit, and then we gave up a grand slam to put them up 8-4, and then we weren't able to score in the 9th. So that was a tough game. It was a very well played game, I would say, on both sides of the ball. Offensively, defensively, I thought there were some good plays made defensively for both sides. Their shortstop was really good. She made a couple diving catches that helped them, and our outfield played well. Center fielder made a couple diving catches that helped us. So it was back and forth and a real good competitive game, and we didn't wind up on the good end of that one, but that's one of those games that it's good that you're playing leading up to conference, because that's more like what our conference games are going to be. It's going to be a dogfight. So that was, I think, good experience for them.
And then on Saturday, you played Central Alabama and lost 6-2.
Yeah, that was another one of those morning games that we weren't quite awake for. So we didn't hit, we didn't pitch, and we didn't play a whole lot of defense. As you can see, we had 3 errors in the first inning, and they went up 4-0, and we didn't really wake up the whole game. So that wasn't a real good performance any way you cut that one. Defensively, pitching, offensively, we didn't do a whole lot of anything that game. And I mean, that Central Alabama is a team that we beat earlier in the year, I believe 13-5 or 6, maybe. Mariana weekend.
You won Central 12-6.
12-6. So that's very disappointing in the way that we showed up, or didn't show up, actually. But Central Alabama, give them credit for coming out and swinging the bat, and they put some runs on the board. And when you don't show up to play, you don't usually have good results.
Now,
so
at the state tournament, if Lady Commodores advance, do they play early in the morning in the state tournaments?
They do. It's not 9 o'clock, but games usually start at 12 and run later. But yeah, it's a little bit more of what we do, more so than a basketball team, or I don't think baseball starts many games that early, but a 9 o'clock start means you're warming up at 7 a.m. on the field, so it means you're up at 5:30, 5:45, and so it's not easy, but the other team's doing the same thing you are, so it's an even playing field. It's just a matter of making it happen. You got to learn to play in whatever conditions you're dealt.
Right. So, and then we finished up against Wabash Valley and won 3-0.
Yeah, I told my team that they're officially, I think, a bipolar team, because we're completely different game, one game to the next. So we got to figure that out a little bit before conference, and we kind of had a powwow after that Central Alabama game, and they came out much better game 2. We had a game break, and then we came out and played Wabash Valley in the on the stadium field, and much better energy, much better effort, and we had I think we had 6 hits that game. Marcosi hit a double with an RBI. Tipler, the third baseman, actually she DP'd that game, and she had a couple RBIs, and we changed it up a little bit. Brittany Lee, which is one of our pitchers, we put her at third base that game, and she played well. Peyton Carpenter started that game. She threw 5 innings. 3 hits in 5 innings. Obviously, no runs, no walks, which is a big thing that we've been kind of harping on them for. So she was able to do a much better job on the mound with that aspect of things. And then Christina Manti, who's a freshman, she's one that's been a little injured, and hasn't pitched until she pitched a couple innings in the Indian Hills game. Was her first time back. She pitched a couple innings, 2 innings, I think, that game, and then she threw the last 2 innings of this game. Trying to get her ready to hopefully be able to throw a little bit tomorrow for conference game. But stats-wise, she's been our best pitcher on the year, and so she's been out about 10 days. I think she went without picking up a ball, and she threw a little bit Friday in a bullpen and threw a little bit Saturday. So hopefully she's she had a couple walks that game. Didn't give up a run. Pitched 2 innings, no runs, 2 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Not bad for not having thrown in that many days, but so she gets a little bit of leeway with the control issues. But I thought it was good to have her back and get her a couple innings in there before we hit the field Tuesday. But that was much better. We ran the bases well. We played defense behind them. I don't think we had any errors. Pitchers pitched well, and we hit enough to put a few runs on the board. So
now on the 14th, we opened panel conference play with Pensacola State.
That's right.
Here, and we first is a doubleheader. Play at 4 and 6. So what do we think about Pensacola?
Everybody in our conference has a winning record. I believe they're 15 and 6 on the year. Good pitching. I think they're gonna. Their stats show that they have decent pitching. So I know they have a returner, Erica Greek, which was their number 1 last year. Every game in the Panhandle is dogfight, so we got to be ready to go. We're on our home field, so hopefully we can come out and we hopefully can get a little bit of a crowd and get some energy going, and we you need to try to get every game you can, and hopefully we can open up conference on a good start. So we play Tuesday here at home, and then following that is we have the bye on Thursday, so we don't play Thursday. And then we play Saturday at Northwest. It's a little bit different, but we've tried to add a 5th round of games for us for conference play. And they're doing that this year by doing basically 2 tournament play, sort of. So we're going to, all 5 teams will be at Northwest this Saturday. Games start, I believe, at 11 o'clock. We played the last 2 games of the day. There's 5 games. We played the last 2 games of the day at 5:30 and 8 o'clock. Game 1 will be against Tallahassee, and then game 2 will be against Northwest. So basically every team in the conference is playing 2 games, and it'll be against 2 different teams that day. So we'll see how that goes, and be late, but I think late's better than early for us. So I'm okay with that.
And in that case, you'll play 2 panel conference teams. You'll play them once, and then you can come back and make adjustments and those kind of things.
Yeah, then we come back and we actually play Tallahassee, go to Tallahassee that next Wednesday and play a doubleheader. So be interesting to get a look at them. Okay.
For Coach Beth Wade, I'm Jamie Spanksley. I'll be right back, Commodore fans, with Coach Kandler and talk about how the men did this past week. Commodores come in with a 20 and 6 overall record, 1 and 3 in panel conference play, ranked number 2 in the state coaches poll, and ranked number 4 in the NJCAA national poll. So Commodores still playing well, Coach. But we open panel conference play this week.